folks, I'm that literary lady, and this is your weekly literary tip. Today I'm going to talk about something that I've talked about in the past, and I'm sure this won't be the last time that you hear me talk about this. I'm going to answer a question that I received from a person who wishes to remain anonymous, and the question was, "Dear that literary lady, how do you get started in writing?" When I read the email, I was like, oh great, another person I can help mentor in writing their first book. So my response back to Anonymous was, "Dear Anonymous, how much research have you done? Where are you in your book writing process?" Anonymous responded back to me, "Dear that literary lady, I've not done any research. I don't know how it works. I haven't started writing. I just have an idea in my head." I did not respond back to Anonymous as of yet, but dear Anonymous, this is the answer to your letter. Now, many of you have heard me before talk about if you're going to approach someone, especially a professional in the industry, writing a book, or ask them questions or pick their brain per se on how to get started writing, make sure you've done some research before you approach that person. Now, I don't mind helping people, and a lot of people in our industry that do not mind helping you. But I can venture to say that there are several people who feel like I do, that it's frustrating when you come and ask for help when you have not even researched the industry yourself. You have not started writing, you have not asked anybody how to go about doing it or anything. You come to us blindly. Now, there are many reasons why we're frustrated, because you should always research what you are wanting to do. If you go out and apply for a job at a corporation that you've never heard of, it would behoove you to get on the internet, because, like I always say, Google is your friend. Google that corporation and find out what they are about, because you might get in the interview and find out they're not exactly what you thought they were, or you might find that you don't want to work for that company, or you might find out that you do want to work for that company, but you don't possess the qualifications for the position they're hiring for. The same thing goes for writing. There are so many aspects that go with writing, and it really irritates me when people make it seem like writing is easy. Writing is not easy, and if someone tells you it's easy, it's not true. They're not putting out quality work. Writing and publishing, the whole process is not easy. Now, it may get easier as you gain practice and you get up into years of practicing, but it's not easy by any means. There are a lot of steps. There are a lot of tedious steps. There's a lot of time management. There is so much involved in the process. So, again, my answer to Dear Anonymous is, first, research the industry in a whole. Then, if you have an idea of what genre you like to write for, research that genre. There are so many different layers to writing and publishing. If you are, for example, interested in writing romance novels, look up some romance authors and see what they're doing. See what they write. And another thing that irritates me, people, is people who want to write, but they don't read. I asked someone recently at a book signing, well, do you read? They asked me how they would get started, and I asked them, well, do you read books? Well, no, I don't like to read, so I don't read. Well, do you at least read self-help books? I don't read at all. I'll read emails, and that's basically it. Folks, if you are trying to write and learn the craft and learn a certain genre, you cannot not read. You have to read and write. Reading and writing go hand in hand. Just like when you were in school, when you were in college, you had to write the term paper. You had to read in order to write. So they go in hand. So if you're thinking that you're going to be a successful writer and not read, it's not going to happen. Another thing that's a pet peeve. I've been asked this, and I see a lot of times on Facebook where fellow authors will say someone has come to them and asked them for help. And this help goes beyond how I get started writing. Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And the author will say, well, have you read any of my books? Oh, no, I've not read any of your books. I'm not interested in reading your books. I just want you to help me do this. probably not the best thing to say to a person that you're asking help for. If you're going to go to a person to ask for help, especially an author, a busy author at that, at least read one of their books. Read something about them. Do a little research on them, because it's like, why should I help you? You're not helping me. And not to say that we expect you to help us or whatever in exchange for help, because we help people all the time. People just don't utilize our help when we give it. So, I know I'm doing a little rambling. I'm a little frustrated. But Anonymous, there you have your answer. And a couple of tips to follow as you're doing your research. If you're the type of person that's too lazy to go out and do research, there's a cool thing called Google Alerts. Google Alerts is your research assistant per se. If you put in Google Alerts certain keywords like romance authors, romance industry, publishing, prosing, crafting, grammar, anything like that, anything that you want to research that you would normally put in Google to research, put in the keywords, and Google will send you that information either as it comes into the internet or on a daily basis in a daily digest. Anything that had those keywords, that way at your leisure you can go and get what your Google Assistant has provided for you and read it. That's another tip. Another tip is a lot of authors that you are trying to approach and ask for help have websites. They have Facebook pages. They have other social media platforms where they post resources. If you look on our website, for example, thatliterarylady.com, thatliterarylady.com, literarywonders.com, bryantconsultingonline.com, or any other author's websites. They have a space that has links that have resources that you can go to other authors, or to, for example, I have the Chicago Manual of Style, which is what I use mostly for my editing. But if you look on the websites, if you research these authors that you're trying to approach, you will see that they're already helping you. They're already giving you the answer. And please don't be offended if you send an email to someone and ask them for help and they don't respond. First of all, you have to think about this. A lot of authors are really busy. Me, for example, I'm currently writing 5 novels. I have 7 clients who are currently in full-fledged novels. I have clients on my waiting list waiting to write novels. On top of that, I run a business. I'm a Toastmaster. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a wife. I belong to different organizations. I do volunteer work. On top of that, I do book signings, conferences, and so on. So we are busy. So before you try to approach us, or if you approach us and we don't get back to you in what you consider a timely manner, don't get upset. Go and research us, or go onto our sites, our social platforms, and find out where our resources are located and compile a list for yourself so you can go back and look at it. YouTube, another great source, by Google. You can learn anything you want to on YouTube, as opposed to reading. If you're not the type of person that reads, which I really hope that if you're going to be a writer that you read, but if you don't feel like reading at a certain point in time, YouTube is visual. It's a video. It has voice. It has pictures that show you how to do things. So, again, I'm done with my rant. So, dear Anonymous, to answer your question, please see That Literary Lady's weekly literary tip dated January 31st, 2013. Thanks, folks. I'm That Literary Lady, and this has been your weekly literary tip. Have a great day.